Okay, so this week, this will be episode 4. So if you're listening, then that means you made it through 1, 2, 3, and you gave me 3 shots and you're still in. So yay, thank you. This week, I'm going to have a friend of mine on. Her name is Walker, and she and I have known each other for many, many years. And she has a lot of crazy stuff happens in her life, but this by far is my most favorite fucking ridiculous story of hers. And I think it's pretty unique and original. So take a listen. Let me know what you think. When I voice text about you or to you.
About me.
Yes.
That's good.
It was about your birthday. We were trying to figure out what we
nothing
wanted.
terrible behind my back.
No. I say that to your face. Walker goes to Walter all the time. And so then when I reread it, I was like, damn it. And then I thought, well, that's actually perfect.
Yeah.
And so thank you for being my first guest on my show.
I'm honored. You are so welcome. You are so welcome.
So we are supposed to close on this townhouse tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
And Walter texted me and said, what are you guys doing with the few items that are still there? And one was a vacuum. And she said, because I think I'm going to go over and vacuum the house just because they're going to do a walkthrough on Monday. And so I was like, Walter doesn't have to vacuum my mom's house for me. I can vacuum my mom's house. Like, that seems excessive. And we had brought some staging stuff over. So yesterday, after I had gone to Walter's very important.
Sorry, I'm very, very important. My phone just went off.
It's a real estate 911.
It's a real estate call. But I will put it on pause or delete or ignore. For you. But if I can technology, I'm anti-technology, so I don't really know how to do that.
I actually stared at your screen and I was like, what's all that stuff on her screen? I can't even figure out how to turn the alarm off. And I don't know how it got set. So I'm with you. Okay, so yesterday, after I went to a really, really fun book reading and bourbon tasting, I then took my daughter over to my mom's house to quickly vacuum everything up and get those things and then drop her off somewhere. And
so this happened after the bourbon tasting.
This did, but it had been a couple hours. So to be fair, right. I was sober for all.
Yeah, it was fair. Got it.
So I get out of my car and I'm tucking my keys into my purse. And all of a sudden, I am flying. And
as you're walking up the sidewalk.
I have literally taken 2 steps out of my car. I am on concrete, like in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. Now there's a curb there and then there's a sidewalk and there is some grass. I missed the grass 100%. Like, didn't touch any of my body to the grass, only concrete and tar. And this is happening in front of tons of people. And my daughter screaming.
Did you trip on your tennis shoes?
Fun fact, wasn't wearing tennis shoes. God, Walter, you really are important.
Golly, sorry.
That's okay.
That's my 5th person calling today wanting me to list their house. It's just amazing.
So when I'm down on the ground and I'm rolling over and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I was not wearing tennis shoes. I was wearing sandals, which, were not like high heels. They are platform.
Trip on that.
Yeah. I look over and there's nothing in that parking lot that would be a hazard except for one tiny piece of bark. I landed on that bark. It then twisted my ankle on the platforms, which then sent me kind of trying to tumble. But I'm like, no, I'm so coordinated. I can pick myself up. And I did not. But I literally landed like 10 feet away from said bark. And I do have a picture of the bark.
And what was Lila doing?
Screaming like, hey! What are you guys?
Yeah. What has happened?
And I'm like, please stop yelling at me. And then I look down and I have blood dripping down my knee. Another thing that is fucking ridiculous.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Band-Aids for grown-ups. Band-Aids for grown-ups. Like, this thing here, it's this gash. Yeah, right there. Bruising up nicely.
And what is all that? Are those old injuries?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You almost look like it's swollen a little bit.
Yeah, maybe, I'm sure it is swollen. So now I still have to go in and vacuum the house with blood dripping down me, but there's nothing in the house. So I'm just like wiping it with my hands and putting it on my shirt because, of course, what color shorts am I wearing? White.
Right.
So
Right.
now I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to vacuum and blood's going to get,
All
they're
over
going to
the
think it's
brand
a
new
fucking
white
crime
carpet.
scene.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you can't do that.
So and I'm sweating to the oldies. Like I'm sweating so much. It's just, it's ridiculous. So I go in, I get the vacuuming done without hopefully getting blood everywhere. So they don't think that a murder happened in the time that they saw it last. And then I'm trying, now I have to go get all the stuff from the back deck. And so it's, we had that hurricane yesterday.
Right.
So it's like super muddy and slick. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, I can't put my shoes back on properly because I have blood all over them. What color are my shoes? They're white as well. So I've got a bloody foot, a bloody knee, straps all over the place on these shoes, and I'm trying to get this shit done. And Lala is about as helpful as my dog. And so I then drop Lala off, and I'm supposed to go to the grocery store to pick up some food because I hate going to the grocery store and I haven't been in days. So I'm going to go, I'm going to pick up like whatever. I don't know. So I call him and I'm like, y'all are on your own. I am dripping with blood. I have sweat everywhere. I am swolled. I am this. And now I'm sad to boot. So I was like, y'all figure this shit out on your own. I come in and Chris is like, oh my God, what happened to you? I'm like, just don't even ask. And so, but I do have pictures and I will document so we can see how well the bruises really come out. Then my hands are all scraped up and stuff. So.
Well, see, you got to be careful. And I wouldn't have either. And I would have fallen. So you're busy too.
This is the CVS pharmacy calling me to tell me that I need a refill on my anti-anxiety medicine. So I think they can wait. They'll leave a message.
We'll compare our missed calls at the end of this.
Yes.
And that would be really funny and see who is more important.
I can tell you right now, it's you. It's you because I'm not. And I know my place in this world. Okay.
And then you'll have potential spam.
Which I did love. A friend told me if you were ever having an affair and you didn't want your significant other to know, just label that person's name potential spam. And you're good.
I guess that's pretty smart.
I know, right? So that was my stupid fucking ridiculous story from yesterday. So now I'm wearing Band-Aids and I wake up this morning, I'm sore and it's stupid. And now I got to wear, anyway, who cares?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Walt, I know you have a couple stories. One in particular, I don't know if other people will ever relate to it, but I have to say maybe one. So hopefully they're listening and they can understand. And then no, they're not the only one that happened to.
Yeah. So this is the most ridiculous story.
Yeah, it really is.
That it really, but what you, and I'm not going to make it that long, but you have to understand the whole day,
I do.
Like everything that had happened.
Tell me.
It was the month of August and we were going to go to Virginia Beach with our good friends, Price and Leah, to go to a concert, one of Leah's favorite bands. I have no idea who that even is now. So Mahud and I decided to go earlier in the day. We were all going to spend the night. We were going to go.
Wait, were your kids with you or not?
No,
with you?
there were no children.
That's really important fact.
There were no children.
Okay.
So it was couples only. Let's go for a night. Let's listen to this band. Well, Mahud and I said, oh, well, let's go earlier in the day and just have our hotel on the beach, have couples day, enjoy the sunshine, and then go to this concert.
Yes.
So we did the whole thing. We went to Taste Unlimited.
Oh.
Ordered the sandwiches to eat
favorite.
on the beach.
Yes.
We went to the 7-Eleven. We bought a cooler and we had, because, I'm my Chardonnay person. So I got my white wine and he got some beer. And we checked into the hotel and we, get on my bathing suit and blah, blah, blah. And we walk out to the beach. So we walk out to the beach and it was one of those days where, wherever this, facing the ocean, but I wanted to get a tan.
Right.
So I am facing south. So I sit on the beach so that I'm facing south.
I don't know my directions. So you're facing away from the ocean.
Well, if I'm facing the ocean would be on my left.
Okay, I'm with you.
That would be east because the ocean.
Just say left and right and we're fine. I don't understand a compass and how to do it in the world. I know what a compass is. I understand up and down and east, left and right. But where I am in the world, I can't do it.
All right. So the ocean's on my left.
Right. Got it.
I'm facing in front of me.
The Outer Banks. You're facing the Outer Banks. I'm with you.
facing Florida.
Okay.
And Mahud is facing the ocean because he doesn't care about the sun. He wants, well, he's dark all the time anyway, but he wants to look at the ocean and drink his beer, where I want to get sun and drink my white wine and look at Florida. So I remember, you know, I had my cute little bathing suit on and I had my little wine. We hadn't eaten yet. And we're in one of those low chairs, you know, so when you sit down, like you're almost like we were right on the ocean. Like
so
the waves were literally coming up to us. So like, you know, I'm that low in the water. And it was a very dense area, like meaning there were a lot of people. Like it was just there because we were in one of the hotels at Virginia Beach. And so it was very crowded where we were. Okay. But we're sitting there and we're having a great time. Well, for 30 seconds. And then I think I had 2 sips of wine. And I look, and I'm just looking south, looking at Florida into the distance. And I mean, I never forget, like, kind of turn my head a little bit.
Which, like
to the left and to the right. And I'm like, what is that thing? What is that thing coming towards me? And I'm like, oh my gosh. But it was one of those moments where literally you can't
process what's happening.
I can't process. And then no words are coming out. And then I'm like, and Mahud turns his head and he says, umbrella. And it is this umbrella. And it's going tumbling towards me. And I'm just,
you're frozen. You can't do anything.
Frozen.
Yep.
And then that thing gets closer and closer because it was way down the beach. Like I had plenty of time to stand up. I don't know what happened. I think I was just enthralled with the whole situation. And then Mahud goes, umbrella. And then literally as it come towards me and it just goes,
Where does it go?
In my hoo-ha-ha. That's all I'll say. It stabs me in my hoo-ha-ha. But luckily it hit the bone. There is bone there. There's pubic bone. It's your pubic bone. And it stabbed me in my pubic bone. And I just remember going, oh, and then just leaped. I didn't leap. I fell forward on all fours. And people come running. Oh God. And it's a puncture wound in my pubic bone. It's a puncture wound.
So now you're bleeding.
I am forward. And the worst part that I failed to mention, I had just bought a brand new bikini.
Of course you did.
So this was a brand new bikini.
Did. And those are not cheap.
Now, no. Even 13 years ago wasn't cheap. That had a hole in it. So it stabbed me. I leaned forward. And this is actually the scary part, is that it was connected to me. So then, I mean, it wasn't, when I say puncture, it wasn't a deep puncture wound.
Was it like my foot?
Oh, that thing?
Yeah.
You know what? It probably was about that size. Yeah. What is that? Like half?
I'm not good at measurement.
It was like, you know what it was? It was like the top of an eraser, but deep, but deep, like you know, like that width, because it was just the tip of the umbrella. Just the tip. So I don't have to pull it out, but it kind of falls out, but it's still connected to me. And women, you know, of course, women come rushing up to me. Mahud is like, holy moly, what has happened? So this is the worst part. The lifeguards come up and bless their hearts. These are probably 16, 17-year-old, 18-year-old boys. And here's this woman with an umbrella.
Impaled
with an umbrella.
By an umbrella in her vagina.
In her woo-woo. And they're terrified. Then the family comes running up. They are apologizing, but there wasn't great communication. And so they grab their umbrella and they leave.
Are you still on all fours? I am on all
fours. I am bawling. I cannot tell you how badly that hurt. It hurt. And when I'm looking back, the bruises that my whole frontal area had for the following month,
I'm sure.
It hit me with such force. It was unbelievable. Like, it is a real, I mean, in a way, I was very lucky where I got hit. Even though that's an awful place to be hit. But it could have been worse. I do want to say that, because some people do really get hurt. So I'm not making light of that situation, but
I'm not either.
Talking about my situation. So Mahood wanted one of the lifeguards to call an ambulance. Well, one of the lifeguards, in his not really knowing the world or women or what really was going on, he said, "Sir, that is just not going to get you to the front of the line in the hospital." So that wasn't really good to say.
Oh, God.
And then the family who had taken the umbrella, they just went on their merry way with part of my pubic self on it. They went back and set it back up. Well, the umbrella comes again.
No, it does not.
Yes. Now,
Walter.
But it doesn't hit me. But I see it coming, and I yell the F word, which I guess I could say because you're saying it.
I say it all the time.
Yeah. And one of the lifeguards says to me, "Now, ma'am, there's no need for that."
Oh, shut the fuck up.
That was not good.
Did you punch him in the dick?
If
you didn't
I did not punch
well,
him.
it's a child.
No,
Fair.
It was a child. And I didn't want to be arrested because I really wanted medical care. So I guess I had my wits about me that I didn't want to be like,
What? A dumbass.
Yeah. So anyway, could get no medical help at all on the beach. Like, none. They didn't help me at all. I wrapped myself up in a towel, not to be too graphic, but I am bleeding, not gushing blood, but I am bleeding down my legs.
Right.
So,
oh my God.
We go to a patient first because the hospital, they were like, it's going to be like a 5-hour wait.
Right.
We went to a patient first in Virginia Beach, and they were incredible.
Okay.
They irrigated my puncture wound. Everyone was like, "Well, did they sew you up?" And I'm like, "No, you do not sew up a puncture wound because what would that lead to, Nicole?
Infection, Walter.
Infection.
I know that.
So I had to be irrigated. I was put on antibiotics.
Did you have to get a tetanus? I
think I did.
I bet you did.
I think I did because, of course, who knows when
you don't know where that fucker's been.
When was your last tetanus shot? Who knows?
Like, you know when? I do know when my fucking dog was on steroids and she bit me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
good. You got that.
So I do know.
You got that.
But and previously, it was 10 years prior when I'd stabbed myself doing a chicken skewer, thinking, "Oh my God, kebabs will be so fun." And now I'm handling all this raw meat, and it's a wooden one, so I'm like,
yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that's how I know when I get my tetanus shots. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm sure I got one that day. I remember that I got one. The nurses at that patient first were fabulous. Everyone, it was a little bit of a giggly situation. They did an x-ray to make sure I had not fractured anything because the bruising had already started. Like, they could even look at it and be like, "You were hit really, really hard." But luckily, the puncture wound was not that bad. Okay. And so we iced it. Okay. And I did not really walk correctly for a while.
Rough sex night.
Rough night. Walked like it's been a rough night.
Do you know, I know your husband so well. I bet he was so mad because that meant he was not getting any action.
Well, and that is,
I am sure that is the first thing he thought
of. It is really kind of a funny story because when we checked into the hotel that day, the room that we stayed at the Oceanfront Inn, which I still have the coffee mug from that whole weekend. And it's actually one of my favorite coffee mugs. It's in my cabinet.
And there's a reason for that. It's a memory.
But you walked in and it had a jacuzzi right in the hotel.
In the room?
In the room with the funky glass, that was like modeled or different like color. Yeah. So he thought something, but no, that didn't happen at all. I think for a very, very long time.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Did others know where it hit you? Like the family, the people rushing up, are they like, did they like see it and they're like, no, 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 like close your legs or something. Like, what are people yelling?
I don't really.
I know you don't know what they were saying, but I'm just wondering for me, like, are you like, when you see that
I don't
happen?
remember.
Oh,
like
God.
it was. That is what's so fascinating about. Like, I wish I could relive it and like know what I was.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the speed of the umbrella. Like it just, and I will say though, the umbrella was kind of moving in a slow motion, or that maybe that could have been my brain, but it was definitely, this thing. Right. And even when Mahood saw it, he couldn't get up in time. Right. And then, but what was really hilarious, it was like by the time he grabbed it, it kind of looked as though
he was doing
it. Like, it's like, did he actually end up placing? But I don't think he would have done that. I don't think he wanted it there. So
no. Oh my God.
Yeah, but I do remember there was this one woman. I remember one woman, other than the lifeguards, coming up to me and saying, "Honey, are you okay?" Because I was bent over and it was still connected to me, and I just was. You're just in shock, and you're bawling. Right. And you know what? A lot of it was though too. It hurt, but it was the fear of the unknown.
Totally.
Like, I was like, because my bikini had a hole in it.
You're like, what else is damaged? And then you're like,
what else?
Yeah. Like, can I no longer have children?
What am I going to be saying?
Is my large intestine going to seep out? Right. I mean, I'd be thinking those things. Yeah. You got to consider all possibilities and then like rule them out. Like, make sure, because you don't want any surprises later.
Right.
I get it. I get it. Okay.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Well, Walker, I really appreciate you taking time out of your very busy morning to come here twice.
Yeah.
And recount a lot of your ridiculousness that happens.
You are very welcome. And I'm sorry I had to come here twice. I'm sorry. See, I wasn't, I should.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Story of my life.
And just moving too fast this morning.
Walter's the best realtor. She's a great friend. She has a great heart, and she can sell the hell out of some houses. So, and she's a really good stager. She's also just funny. So thank you for being my first guest and sharing your fucking ridiculous experiences, which I know you have tons more, but those are super awesome. So if you have ever been impaled in your vagina by an umbrella, you are not alone.
Right.
You know?
Right.
If a fly just landed on you.
Is it on my head right now as we're talking?
I've been trying to get rid of that fucker for so long. It's so bad. And nobody closes doors in my house.
I had to wash my hair today.
No,
it just felt right at home, landing on my head. Yeah.
Okay. I love you.
Well, I love you too, and I'm very proud of you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for
I'm
having
very
me
proud
today.
of you too.